Good evening, race fans. Welcome to tonight's feature event, the Finger Lakes 165, here at the All-American ARCA Series at the virtual Watkins Glen Raceway. On behalf of Team Goon Squad, I'm James East up in the booth, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second. As I promise you, this is going to be quite the exciting evening here tonight, as we have cars making their way out for single car qualifying. And if practice is any indicator, it is going to be quite the exciting night. We've seen crashes, we've seen spins, and we've seen a whole lot of damaged bodywork. We're going to watch James Silvers, the number 17 machine, make his way around for his timed qualifying session. In open practice, the fastest lap time was set by Johnny Eckert. He dropped a 1 minute 14.09, setting the fastest pace. We're expecting to see a whole lot of 115s, 116s, and 117s here in qualifying. But man, oh man, is it going to be exciting, as it is our first road course of this season. Everyone is excited, if not a little bit anxious, to see what we're going to see here tonight. I know I'm excited. I hope you are as well at home. And as always, we appreciate everyone from across the world that tunes in, supporting your favorite drivers, your favorite series, and your favorite broadcasters. I'm looking forward to it. Last week at Nashville was very exciting, as we saw Eckert bring home the win in his Outlaw Racing sponsored machine. You had Heller and Barkuski in the 2511 racing cars finishing second and third. DJ Weeks Jr. finished fourth with Outlaw Racing. And then Kyle Hall rounded out our top five in the Spirit of Daytona car. Still a lot of action going on throughout the field, as last week we saw Heller move up 3 spots in the points chase to the second place spot. Barkuski moved up 1, securing third place. And man, it's just been exciting all the way around here this season. We've also had a little bit of team changes, or not team changes, team standing changes, as Outlaw Racing still out front in the Team Cup Chase Championship. 2511 Racing moved up to second place. Cornerstone Motorsports dropped down to third in the team standings. Spirit of Daytona Racing is in fourth. Team Dodge CHT fifth. You've got PA Posse in sixth. Team Goon Squad seventh. Alpha Ravioli Yoo-Hoo Racing is in eighth. Old Geezer Motorsports ninth. Fan Fuel Motorsports has moved up to the 10th place spot. TNN Racing dropped 1 spot down to 11th with the team standings. And then Team Eclipse Racing will round out our team championship. So a lot of action still left to go, as this season has been very, very exciting for everybody. As we watch Silvers have a bit of a moment in his Jack Daniels sponsored race machine. So this is round 9 of the championship. Next week we go to the Iowa 225. 160 laps around the Iowa Speedway Oval at night. And Silvers is going to bring his qualifying run to a close. We're going to watch Devin Scroggs, the number 66 machine. Let's see what he can put down for his opening laps. A 1 minute 20.51. As there is a lot of fast drivers out there. A lot of these guys are exclusively oval racers trying something new. And a lot of these guys are road racers in disguise, able to show off their talents a little bit better than just on the roundy round tracks. But we're watching Devin Scroggs, number 66, his Yoo-Hoo painted bright yellow machine. Race Control having to do a little bit different strategizing today. They may have their night busy. They may not. They had to add a few more rules to the old rule book just for the road course. Similar penalties as always. Causing a crash or yellow is 1 point. ARCA braking, which means holding it wide open an incident instead of respectively lifting off the throttle and avoiding an incident, is also worth 1 point. Crashing under pacing is worth 2 points. And intentional wrecking is worth 10 points here today. So if you see a driver get 1 point, they will be required to do a drive-through. If they require 2 penalty points in one race, it'll be a 30-second black flag, a stop-and-go penalty that must be served under green. And if they acquire 3 points, it will be a disqualification of the event. So something else a little bit different than the usual oval shenanigans. There will only be local enforced yellows. What that means for you guys at home, if there is a yellow on the racetrack, Drivers will have to yield. They will not be able to make any passes under yellow. And then after they clear the waving yellow flag station, they may resume their racing. Now it is possible that we will see some full course yellows here tonight. That will only be thrown by race control if it is impossible to keep racing due to complete track blockage, or generally, in big air quotes here, a pileup involving more than 3 cars. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see that full course yellow come out. If we do see it, I'm predicting it'll be early on into the race, as this has the potential to be very, very good or catastrophic for everybody involved, race control, broadcasters, and racers alike, as these ARCA Menards cars are very, very tough to hold on to. They're known for being loose on an oval, so you can imagine sitting them out here on a challenging road course, as Craig Martin drops a 1 minute 19.80 to end his qualifying run. Let's check on Nick Terrell, number 81, the Doritos-sponsored race car. Terrell's last time by was a 1 minute 18.69. Let's see if he has anything left in reserve. Oh! Terrell, that's the wrong way, buddy. So that will be it for Terrell, the number 81 machine. We've got about, it's got about 9 drivers that have not qualified yet. Just a few races left in the season. We're at Watkins, Glen today. Next week, we're at Iowa Speedway. Then Pocono, Kansas, USA International, and finally Atlanta Motor Speedway for the season finale, September 10th. We have knockout reports when the next season will start, but we're looking forward to it, as this is one of the biggest, baddest ARCA series you can compete in, commonly fielding over 30 cars each and every week. And as always, every Friday night, we're bringing the action live and having a great time up here in the booth. As now we watch and wait. Now, we talked to some competitors before the race started, and some of the guys actually wait on their qualifying runs just a little bit longer to see if they're going to get cooler track conditions, maybe put down a better lap time. But as it stands right now, 18 cars have qualified. I don't believe you're going to see the rest of the field go out and try and put down their times, as we have 2 minutes left in the session. So drivers using this moment to take their water breaks, talk to teammates, maybe work something out, but I believe we are going to advance the session and get this party started here at Watkins Glen. Let's run you through tonight's grid. Up front, you've got Johnny Eckert, the number 90 machine. Zach Rogers starting second. Alex Penn starting third, the road race extraordinaire. Casey Carrington will be starting fourth in the number 9 machine. James Silvers starting fifth. Christopher Heller will be starting sixth. Alex Harrington starting eighth. Now, we might have skipped Dylan Gooden starting number 7th. You've got Kyle Hall starting 9th. Carolus Steele starting 10th. Bruce Pearson 11th. Robert Mathis Jr. starting 12th. Nick Terrell starting 13th. Shane Gentry 14th. Tyler Evans starting 15th. Craig Martin starting 16th. Devin Scroggins will be starting 17th. Larry Noel 18th. Michael Vandermeed starting 19th. Josh Thompson in the 20th spot on the grid. David Westergreen, broadcast extraordinaire, will be starting 21st here tonight. Patrick Hernandez, 22nd. Andrew McGonigal starting 23rd. DJ Weeks Jr. starting 24th. And then to round out our field, you've got John Simpson Jr. starting 25th. Ron White, 26th. Curtis Martin starting 27th. Greg Snellbaker will start 28th to round out our field today. And oh my, what type of excitement are we going to see? Now, if practice is any indicator, as people were trying their last-ditch efforts to get a little bit faster, we can expect a little bit of carnage here at Watkins Glen. But if and when are we going to see that world-famous full-course caution come into effect, or will we be able to keep it relatively green the whole race tonight? We've got one lap under pacing, which very well may be excitement all in itself, as the iRacing pace car is going to run them up through turns 1 and 2, down the straightaway, and keep an eye on the bus stop here tonight. That has extremely high potential for a lot of carnage on lap 1. The drivers will come out on cold tires. They'll get quite the run here and then dive into the sharp right, left, right-hander before going to the carousel. Another point of interest that could yield tragedy if drivers are not careful their opening laps. What a massive field here at Watkins Glen. You can see about 5 drivers hanging pretty far back. Those guys are going to be betting on some lap 1 caution that they're going to do their best to avoid. But the problem is when you hang back that far, you can still find yourself involved with some pinballing race cars. This is probably the longest pacing lap our drivers have had all season long. It's going to be very, very interesting to see which of our road racers in disguise make their way up towards the front of the grid. And who's going to be able to hang on here tonight and salvage some points. Pace car will be coming in this time by, and we're going to send them on their way. It's Johnny Eckert, Zach Rogers side by side. Well, let's see what happens into turn 1. Eckert has the inside line. Rogers on the outside. And we're going to get the replay button queued up here as turn 1. Looks like everybody's playing it pretty safe going through here. So far, so good from our competitors. They're going to charge up the hill into the little switchback. And let's see what happens going into the bus stop. As we got Eckert out front, Rogers second, Alex Penn third. Our top 3 drivers making it through the field, through the bus stop, nice and easy. Alex Hall in 8th place gets through fine. Oh, there's a little bit of love. That was John Simpson Jr. giving a love tap, the 04 of Curtis Martin. But I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it through some of the tougher spots. Clean all the way through. It's Johnny Eckert out front, Zach Rogers second, Alex Penn third as they make their way down the start-finish line to complete their opening lap here at Watkins Glen. As right now, all the competitors doing a great job. Christopher Heller still 5th. He's up 1 spot. He's trying to chase down Casey Carrington in the number 9 machine, but we have another incident. Larry Noel, Alex Harrington involved. Let's see what happens here. Going to the bus stop. Oh, what a hard hit. A fantastic crash. That's number 29. I'm trying to get eyes on that other driver. That's the 85, Alex Harrington. A massive crash into the bus stop. Man, there's a whole lot of off tracks being thrown on live time and in scoring as Nick Terrell, Devin Scroggins, Craig Martin, all off track. But so far, so good up front. You still got Johnny Eckert out front. You got Zach Rogers second. He's about 1.4 seconds back. Alex Penn third. Casey Carrington fourth. Christopher Heller fifth. As all these drivers doing a pretty solid job out here. Again, everybody's a little bit apprehensive going in tonight, but we started with 28. We still have 28 rolling on track. You know, in hindsight tonight, what we should have done is hired one camera guy just to stand at the bus stop all day, because I believe that could have been some high-quality content. That is a very, very tough spot. You got drivers coming in very, very fast. A lot of these guys are not road racers by trade. They're all oval racers doing their best to make something happen. So it is going to be a game of trust, giving your opponents plenty of room in front of you not to run into them a little bit hot. Let's check further back in the field. You've got Nick Terrell. He's running 9th place behind him. Bruce Pearson is holding off Michael Vandermeer, DJ Weeks Jr., and Robert Mathis Jr. as they're in a pretty big pack here. They're going to take this left-hander a short straight and then into the right-hander for the start-finish line straight. Here comes Vandermeer trying to make something happen on the outside line. They're going to go side by side to the start-finish line straight. They might make it 3 wide here. Oh, this is always good. Bruce Pearson plays it smart at number 22. He says, no, you guys can have this one going into turn 1. Michael Vandermeer, he's going to follow behind DJ Weeks Jr. Weeks is in the number 97. That pretty wild painted number 97 machine. Vandermeer in the 7, the red and white. But let's see what these guys can do in the bus stop. This is where we've seen trouble strike other drivers, especially when they're running nose to tail. Especially in the draft, you can come into that section of the racetrack a little bit hotter than you plan to, but these guys are absolute pros. DJ Weeks Jr., Michael Vandermeer, no problem at all going into the bus stop. Able to keep it nice and clean for everybody. Right now you're on board with Casey Carrington, the number 9 driver. He's trying to chase Alex Penn. He sees him 2 seconds ahead of him. Hammering down shifts like it owes him money into turn 1. And then we're going to keep that camera on board if we can, at least until we get through the bus stop. As we show Shane Gentry having a moment. Gentry currently 26th place. We'll grab a replay here in a second. Look at Carrington gaining a little bit of time here. That's lap traffic. That's the number 29 of Larry Noel. Noel's going to let him by, but let's check out Shane Gentry's crash. Gentry's in the number 26 machine, gets a little bit loose on the bus stop, grabs the inside grass, and he goes for quite a hit to the number 26. Gets it pointed back in the right direction, but he's going to have to come into pit lane because that car is heavily, heavily damaged. Back up front, you've got Zach Rogers chasing Johnny Eckert. He's finding himself at a 3.2 second disadvantage. Alex Penn, 3rd place. He's about 3 seconds back from Zach Rogers. a little bit of camera problems there. Roger's doing a great job trying to catch Eckert. Still charging forward, keeping the car clean, but at this point in the race, we're 8 laps in. Having a clean car is an accomplishment all to itself, as we just saw Thiel go off track and able to save it. Shane Gentry's going to bring it into pit lane, so now we've got 26 drivers on our lead lap. Thiel currently glued to the, Hernandez is glued to the back of Thiel's 01 machine. This is the battle from 15th on your screen. Just ahead of Thiel, you can see David Westergreen and the dark green number 93 machine. Thiel finds himself about 2 seconds back, and they look for Hernandez. Hinted at a pass going to the bus stop, thinks better of it. These guys have 3 sets of tires available here today as Kyle Hall, Larry Noel both go off track. That should slow down things just a little bit and allow Thiel and Hernandez to catch up as the pack starts getting a little bit accordion, is the professional way of saying it. Now, and that's what Johnny Eckert, Zach Rogers, Alex Penn, your top 3 have to be very, very mindful of. Once they catch lap traffic, it can get much more exciting for everyone involved. As Thiel and Hernandez, they're going to get around Larry Noel as well. And the number 29 machine, Larry out there just surviving at this point, trying to salvage some points. Now we've got Andrew McGonigal, the number 16 machine. He's running 18th on track right now, up 5 positions from where he started. He's trying to catch Ron Wright in that number 27 Fanta race car, and he is accompanied by Curtis Martin right behind him, the 04 machine. Currently our fastest Canadian on track, running 19th. Oh, we've got another crash on track. That's James Silvers having a big moment. Let's see if we can grab you that instant replay. Silvers in the number 17. Let's see what happens to our old friend. Looks like a little bit too much love to the inside line. Gets in the grass and goes for a heck of a spin. Realizes too little too late. He's making a direct course for the wall, and he's going to bend the number 17 Jack Daniels car. Oh, right in time. We switch back to Andrew McGonigal, who takes an accidental pit stop. What is he going to do here? The pit lane is blocked. Nobody can come in. He's having to Austin Powers it through the pit lane, back and forth, trying to make it happen. He finally gets pointed the right way, but McGonigal going to have to take a forced pit stop here, an unplanned pit stop. David Westergreen, number 93 machine. He is up 7 spots into 14th place. He's trying to chase Bruce Pearson in the other green car. Pearson running the number 22, Westergreen in the 93. That last time by, Westergreen dropped a 1 minute 18.96 compared to Pearson with a 1 minute 19.18. Meanwhile, up front, your leaders are doing 1 minute 15s right now this late in the run. Even the leaders are about 1 second off their previous best lap times of the race as tire wear is starting to become a factor for all of these drivers. We're going to go check up front as Eckert cutting through traffic. There is only 21 drivers on the lead lap at this time. 27 drivers still out there. Shane Gentry, our lone driver, still in pit lane. He's been there for about 5 minutes at this point. Josh Thompson has a crash. Thompson, the number 51 machine, going into the bus stop. Let's see what happens. I think Thompson's doing his best to try and get out of the way of lap traffic. Maybe puts himself on an alternative line. And he has a moment going into the carousel. And he pulls into Scroggins! He absolutely pulled into traffic. Devin Scroggins nowhere to go, and the 66 machine is going to sustain heavy damage. What a race this is. Now, I've got to say, not as bad as we were kind of expecting tonight, as Eckert's still out front charging hard. Zach Rogers' number 5 machine has whittled away at that gap just a little bit. It's down to a 2-second disadvantage for Rogers in second place, up to Johnny Eckert in first. But we've got the camera focused on Eckert right now because it has been very, very exciting to watch all these guys cut through lap traffic. Shane Gentry, we talked about him early on, coming in for a very long pit stop. He is out of his pit box after 5.5 minutes getting his race car repaired, as Eckert sees more lap traffic ahead of him at the end of this straightaway. All these drivers, doesn't matter where you're at in the lineup, have to be very, very mindful of where you're going to make any passes. And Eckert's going to once again come up on Larry Noel, number 29 machine, diving into turn 1. Now this is a big advantage for Zach Rogers, currently in second. Every time Eckert slows up, that allows Rogers, the number 5 machine, to gain a little bit of time and hopefully make something happen. It'll be an absolute battle of navigating lap traffic here today. Eckert flicking number 90 machine through the bus stop. He is catching up to, I believe, that maybe Alex Harrington, number 85 machine. But I mean, at least the closing distances haven't been that bad between the guys on the lead lap and cars that find themselves one or more laps down. Everyone being very respectful, trying to hold a line, allowing these fast guys through. But we are not even to the halfway mark, and we only have 20 drivers on the lead lap, as Johnny Eckert will get around Alex Harrington. David Westergreen able to get around Bruce Pearson, but now Bruce Pearson, he has Patrick Hernandez and Ron White involved. We've got Tyler Evans involved with an incident as well. We'll grab you that replay. Tyler Evans, number 15. Let's back that camera up. Let's see what happens to Evans. Unable to hold on to it in the left-hander. He shows us 2 different crashes, so let's see what happens here. Mace spinning in the kitty litter, the gravel traps here at Watkins Glen. And that is pretty much exactly it, just trying to get the traction down and get back out there on track. This is a heavy battle in the top 15. You're watching Bruce Pearson, currently 14th. He was just passed by Patrick Hernandez, now 13th. Behind him, you've got Ron White, Thiel, and Curtis Martin. Thiel trying to catch up and get around the number 26 machine. I believe he's a lap down. He is. That Shane Gentry in the bright pink race car. Nick Terrell coming into pit lane for his stop, the number 81 machine. Now you're watching Zach Rogers. He's about 3.3 seconds back from race leader Johnny Eckert and about 7 seconds ahead of Alex Penn. Penn not able to get through traffic as quickly as he would like tonight. Zach Rogers, he's going to come up on lap traffic here, see how quickly he can get around and see if he can do so safely. He does not want to spend much time behind traffic, if at all possible. Wants to get back out there, get on pace, and see if he can whittle away at that gap that Johnny Eckert has, but he does know, hey, Eckert's dealing with the same disadvantage as I am. All these guys are out here racing for position, so it is the gentleman's rule to hold your line and allow the fast guys by, as you do see lap traffic get down the inside of the raceway to allow Zach Rogers by into turn 1. That was Alex Harrington once more being the absolute gentleman, allowing these guys to get by, as well as number 65 of John Simpson Jr., both making way for Zach Rogers. Absolute professionalism from all these competitors here tonight. Now, we'll need to check with race control. I'm pretty sure there's no mandatory blue flag rule here in the All-American ARCA Series, just a gentleman's rule to get out of the way if possible, and if not, just hold a line and be consistent. As Zach Rogers once again dives into the bus stop. Right now he's behind Shane Gentry, looking for a hole through to get cleanly through lap traffic. He's picking them off one by one, but let's check on Johnny Eckert as we see Gentry move out of the way for the number 5, Zach Rogers. Now Rogers really isn't that big of a disadvantage here. He is about 1 straightaway from Johnny Eckert. We've got 26 laps left to go in the main event. And we do have another incident. Curtis Martin with a hard crash. Let's take a look there. Curtis Martin, the number 4 machine, going through the carousel. Looks like he's already wiggly and doesn't have it planted. And oh, it snaps. And oh, he comes right across the race line. I believe that was number 51, Josh Thompson, involved with that one. Completely removing the front end of the number 51 machine. Eckert still out front, navigating lap traffic, able to get through it relatively clean so far. He's extended the gap to about 4.85 seconds over Zach Rogers. Alex Penn still 3rd, Casey Carrington 4th, and Christopher Heller will round out our top 5 so far at Watkins Glen. We can check further back in the pack. You've got Michael Vandermeed stalking Kyle Hall. They're glued bumper to bumper going to the bus stop. Kyle Hall is number 87, the black and orange. Vandermeed, the white and red number 7, as they both go into the carousel together. Both drivers' cars looking relatively unscathed so far here tonight. Vandermeed looking for an opening behind Kyle Hall, not able to make it quite yet. Although, here comes Vandermeed. Oh, thinks better of it, checks up, going into the final right-hander. Let's see what type of drive he can carry down the start-finish line straight. If he's going to get a run on Kyle Hall, he looks to the inside line. Can he make it stick going into turn 1? They're going to be side by side. Kyle Hall has about a car length. Vandermeed thinks better of it, says, nope, this is too risky. We'll live to fight another day. So all these guys being very, very smart of how and when they're going to try and make a pass. It's all a momentum game. So if you find yourself checking up for a corner, unable to stick a pass, you can really put yourself back by about a quarter of a lap before you can build that back up. But Vandermeed all over the back of the number 87, Kyle Hall. They're going to go to the bus stop once more in tow together. This is some great racing here at Watkins Glen all through the field. This is the battle for 9th on screen right now. 24 laps to go. Vandermeed putting the pressure on Kyle Hall's number 87 machine. Or are we going to see Vandermeed try and make a pass? Thiel makes the spot up for 15th, passing Bruce Pearson, number 22 machine. Current hard charger, though, DJ Weeks Jr., currently 7th place. He is up 17 spots so far tonight. Weeks is going to be kind of cruising around by himself here in the number 97. He's about 19 seconds back from 6th place Dylan Gooden and about 6 seconds ahead of James Silvers. Christopher Heller was able to get around Casey Carrington to take that 4th place spot. Carrington still right behind him in the number 9 machine. Still a lot of drivers having problems. Alex Harrington brings it into pit lane to get some work done on his car. Larry Noe involved in an incident by himself. Nick Terrell leaves the pits after 6 minutes and 30 seconds worth of repairs, getting his damaged race car back out on track, just trying to salvage some points. We've got 23 laps to go, so a lot of these drivers know, hey, I know I'm not having a great race. We had to come into pit for a long time. We're several laps down, but we are still, I mean, it's 23 laps to go. There's still ample opportunity for somebody to have a big moment and really ruin their race, and allowing those guys with previously damaged cars to get back out there, salvage some points, and get some racing done. We're doing our calculations left. There's about 30 minutes left in tonight's race. As, oh boy, they're trying to come around somebody that had a bit of a moment there. I believe that was Alex Harrington. Or possibly Shane Gentry. Devin Scroggins comes into pit lane to get his repairs hit after getting tagged by a lap car that spun out in front of him. Zach Rogers comfortably in second, just out there clicking off laps, trying to whittle away at the gap from Johnny Eckert. The last time by, both Eckert and Rogers did 1 minute 16 second, 0.6 to 7 lap time. So both competitors in the top 2 running very similar pace. Alex Penn in third, also doing a 1 minute 16.99. But what a white knuckle race for all of our competitors. Everybody holding on, and the name of the game has been lap traffic. It's got to be a very intense moment for our drivers, both lap cars and lead lap cars alike, trying to think, all right, how do we get through this clean together? DJ Weeks Jr., Kyle Hall, Robert Matthews Jr., David Westergreen, all coming into pit lane. Top off on fuel, grab 4 fresh Goodyears, and go back out and try and click off the remaining 21 laps here at Watkins Glen. Zach Rogers in second place, looking for a clean way to get through between Bruce Pearson, I believe Thiel right in front of him in the Tide machine. Now the bus stop, generally not the place you want to make any passes, as it is just so tight on this raceway for these high horsepower cars that aren't necessarily known for their road racing abilities, but all these guys put on a great show. I mean, we've seen a fair amount of self-spins and incidents as Thiel yields the line to Zach Rogers, letting him by. But as far as the incidents we've seen here tonight, all these guys doing a great job. I mean, you can really see that a lot of the guys have been putting in the effort. Even the guys that aren't out front charging for the lead still did a great job just maintaining their car control. As we've had a handful of incidents, but not nearly as bad as it could have been. Now, right as we say that, we did have 2 crashes, Devin Scroggins and Robert Mathis Jr. Let's check out Scroggins first, the number 66. Oh, he just barely gets hooked. Not sure who that was. And that is not a good place to have a parked race car. So Scroggins is going to sit and wait for clean track. Gets out there, but man, Now let's check out Robert Mathis Jr., who had an incident. Mathis is in the red number 92. He's right behind Westergreen and followed by Terrell. He just gets a little bit loose, going on the inside, able to collect it, keep it off the wall. Well done. And tentatively gets back out on track to avoid causing any incidents. Now, Eckert, Rogers, and Carrington, your top three have not pitted yet. Bruce Pearson, Ron White, they come into pit lane. Now, in theory, our top three have been very, very fast all night. They should be fine if they don't need to pit for tires, just to stay out there and keep clicking them off. Or excuse me, if they don't need to come in for fuel, their lap times on older tires is still better than a large portion of the field at this point. So are we going to see our top three come in, or can they stretch it out on fuel? I'd have to imagine they will have to come in for fuel. But they're trying to stretch out that run as long as they possibly can, as all of our top competitors are anywhere between 1 to 3 seconds off their best lap times of the race, battling both tire wear and lap traffic. We got another crash. It's going to be Alex Harrington, number 85 machine. Let's take a look, see what happens. Harrison in the baby blue car going into turn 1. He's following the number 51, Josh Thompson. And just gets a little bit loose all by himself and slams the inside of the wall, thankfully avoiding lap traffic. I believe that was Bruce Pearson coming out of pit lane, who just narrowly avoided getting collected again. 28 drivers started. And we've got 27 still on track, but only 8 on the lead lap with 18 laps to go. And we still have a lot of hard racing. You're watching Christopher Heller. Right behind him, Dylan Gooden in the number 75 machine. And right in front of Heller is Alex Penn, the road race extraordinaire, currently in 4th place. As these guys have been putting on quite the show for us here tonight. Everybody doing a fantastic job. As Christopher Heller's going to be very careful getting around lap traffic here. 2 cars ahead of him. He sees Alex Penn, number 30. That is his next position, trying to secure an even better spot than 5th. As they go side by side with lap traffic through the straightaway. And what's going to happen at the bus stop? You've got a few different drivers with mixed talent and mixed different damages on their cars. Heller able to get through clean, as well as Dylan Gooden. Heller trying to whittle away at that 1.75 second gap that Alex Penn currently holds in 4th place. Let's cycle through the field, find a little bit of action. Kyle Hall, number 87, he's still chasing Michael Vandermeed. Hall is right at the edge of our top 10, currently running 10th. His last time by, a 1 minute 18.28 compared to Vandermeed's 1 minute 17 flat. So Vandermeed's getting a little bit more comfortable. He is up 10 spots up into 9th place in his red and white number 7. He finds himself about 5.5 seconds back from his friend and competitor James Silver's number 17 machine. Both Silvers and Vandermeed, very good friends on and off the track, frequently racing in the same building together. While we saw Silvers with internet problems early in the season, he was able to get that corrected. And just like that, he's out there battling for top 10s, top 5s, and even podiums much more consistently. We've got 16 laps left to go, and I'll be right back and take a very quick break, grab some water, but don't go anywhere, don't miss any of the action. It has been a good racing all the way through. I'll be right back. Johnny Eckert cycles out in the number 90 machine for his first pit stop. Casey Carrington moves up to second. Zach Rogers out front. It's 15 laps to go. I'm not sure if we're going to expect to see Rogers or Carrington have to come in. I'd have to imagine they'll have to come in at least once for fuel. But now that's going to put Johnny Eckert back into third. Alex Penn fourth. Christopher Heller fifth. Everyone except Rogers and Carrington in the top 10 have pitted already this race. But Zach Rogers' number 5 machine will get some laps led here. We're going to cycle back and grab you a quick replay of a crash that's going to be involving Tyler Evans and I believe Larry Noel. Not sure that's going to be two separate incidents or not, but oh, look at that. Evans just absolutely sent it. Gets edged around by the number 29 machine. They're going to be able to rejoin the racetrack relatively safely as you see somebody absolutely huck it off into turn 1 there. So up front to me, Zach Rogers, Casey Carrington, Eckert, Penn, and Heller, your top 5. But Rogers and Carrington both have not pitted yet. It'll be 13 to go once Rogers crosses the line here. Rogers looks like he's going to bring it into pit lane. Let's see what Carrington does, the number 9 machine, if he's going to follow Zach Rogers, the number 5 machine. No, Carrington's going to stay out for another lap here. But Carrington will get a lap led here at Watkins Glen at the back of your screen. Johnny Eckert is about 6 seconds back from your race leader, Casey Carrington, who has not pitted yet. Average pit stop has been about 15 seconds in the box. Total pit lane time, about 47, 48 seconds among all the competitors. Always a good time seeing Carrington out front, charging hard. Number 9, one of the series admins and owners here at the All-American ARCA Series. He's a driver. He's helps with race control and rule writing. The man does it all. And he can also drive as he is just still chugging laps, number 9. Not sure we're going to see him come into pit lane. We've got to imagine his fuel has got to be pretty close as everyone else started their pit cycles around the lap 20 mark. So he's going to try and drive it out at the end. And there we go. He's going to bring it into pit lane. That's going to allow Johnny Eckert to take over the lead once more. Eckert with fresh tires gets down to 1 minute 14.92. Earlier on tonight, once those tires were good and worn out, they were doing high 117s, 118s. And then most of the field also doing high 18s and low 19s at this point of the race. Alex Penn moves up to second, Christopher Heller third, Zach Rogers fourth, and Dylan Gooden will move into 5th place. Now Christopher Heller does have a lot of competition here. Just on the just behind him, you got Zach Rogers, number 5, who's going to be charging very, very hard. And oh my, look how close Heller just got to that wall. Trying to put as much traction down or as much power down as he possibly can. Breaks a little traction, and that back end steps out. And here at the Glen, it just takes one little oopsie daisy on these tight sections of racetrack, and you can find yourself blocking the entire track. Doubly so if you get more than one car involved. Christopher Heller holding on for dear life. Zach Rogers all over him right now. As you're on board with Zach Rogers currently running 4th, he's less than a third of a second behind Christopher Heller's number 11 machine. Now Zach Rogers does have 7-lap newer tires as well compared to Christopher Heller in 3rd. So maybe able to carry a little bit more speed, have some more traction. As you see him step out that back end, he's going to go to the inside into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Heller's on the outside, Rogers on the inside. Heller's going to play it smart, yield the position. and Heller will get shuffled back to 4th. Now Heller is still up 2 spots from where he originally started tonight. Again, he's still in the top 5. He's still charging hard, but we know Heller, number 11, he always does his best to get up on the podium and give shout-outs to all his friends. So expect the number 11 to do everything in his power to get back up there as the laps are winding down. 11 laps to go. Now Zach Rogers, a man on a mission. Can he catch Alex Penn, who is 2 seconds ahead of him? Penn also came in on that lap 22 window, the same as Christopher Heller in the number 11. So is the fresh tires that Zach Rogers has on his machine after coming out lap 29 going to be a race-winning move? But we do have another incident. Andrew McGonigal with a big crash. Let's grab the replay for you. McGonigal, number 16 machine. Let's see what happens here going into the carousel. And just unfortunately sends himself sliding around as cars are once again diving. He does a great job getting off the race surface as quickly as he can. Well, let's go back. I want to watch this. Zach Rogers doing his best to catch Alex Penn in the number 30 machine. Penn 1.4 seconds ahead of Rogers, currently in 3rd place. Rogers is in podium contention, but he wants more. He wants that 2nd spot, score some more points for his team. The gap is now 1 second and closing. As Rogers driving the wheel off the number 5, charging hard, trying to catch number 30, currently in 2nd place. Doing his best to whittle away at Penn. Now something to point, Johnny Eckert up front has 0 off-track incidents. Alex Penn in 2nd has 5, Zach Rogers has 2, Christopher Heller has 3, and Dylan Gooden has 1. So everybody except Eckert in your top 5 has triggered the off-track sensor at least once, but look at this. Zach Rogers glued to the back of Alex Penn. Alex Penn going to drive defensively, holding the inside line. Rogers is going to hold that outside line as long as he can to swoop into turn 1, try and carry some more speed up the hill. That's another great passing opportunity. Once you get through this little chicane on the hill, as you make your way onto the straightaway, you have the opportunity to carry more speed, but it is a game of timing. As Rogers has a big run, Alex Penn once again on the inside line, drifts high, throws a little bit of a block on Zach Rogers. And no, don't tell me they're going to go side by side in the bus stop. That usually doesn't end well. And they do. Zach Rogers on the inside, Penn on the outside. Rogers is going to get the pass nice and clean. Alex Penn tries to hold the inside going to the carousel, unable to do so. That will allow Zach Rogers to take over 2nd place. But look at this. Here comes Christopher Heller as well in the number 11 machine. He wants in the mix. Heller came in on lap 22, the same as Alex Penn. He's been using the draft of Zach Rogers to get back up there. So Christopher Heller now once again has a spot at podium contention. 2nd through 4th separated by less than a second. Then now the race is going to be between Christopher Heller and Alex Penn, the battle for 3rd. Last time by, Penn with an 18.09, Heller with a 16.48. Rogers and Penn spent so much time battling for the last 2 laps. That allowed Heller to really make up some time and click off laps and suddenly find himself back up here in the mix. Let's see, can he keep the draft of Alex Penn's number 30? Ooh, Heller has a bit of a moment going to the bus stop. Not sure if that's going to cost him some time there. He lost about 0.3 of a second to Alex Penn. The gap is now 0.5 seconds between the two. But here comes lap traffic once more that Penn is going to have to cut through. That's Devin Scroggs, number 66 machine. We saw him get tagged early on in tonight's race. He's going to try and yield the fast line to these drivers if at possible. It's going to be 6 laps to go at the line as the battle for 3rd really starting to heat up. It's Eckert out front, Rogers 2nd, Alex Penn 3rd, Christopher Heller 4th, Dylan Gooden in 5th. But man, the battle is for 3rd. As Heller doing everything in his power to catch Alex Penn and make something happen. wins last time by a 1 minute 16.24. Heller with a 1 minute 16.46. So Heller's going to have to find some more speed here or possibly force Alex Penn to make a mistake. Now, that could happen all of its own because we've seen lap traffic all over the place. All competitors have been doing a great job just avoiding the lead cars, trying to get them the preferred line if at all possible. But it just takes one moment to shake things up here at Watkins Glen. Anybody can get involved, whether they want to or not, as it is such a tight racetrack and such high horsepower machines. Now Penn is going to have to cut through traffic just ahead of Christopher Heller. But if Penn is able to navigate traffic cleaner than Heller, he can put a couple of guys that are laps down between himself and number 11 of Christopher Heller to give him a little bit more breathing room as you see lap traffic doing their best to get out of the way. That is number 51, Josh Thompson, diving to the inside, allowing these lead lap cars by as quickly as he can so he can continue his own race. We got another incident somewhere on track to be Shane Gentry, the number 26, has a moment. Let's take a look. Shane Gentry's the poor, bright pink number 26 machine is just not having a great night as he pinballs it through the straightaway, that very tight section of racetrack. We take it back live. Apparently the leaders are able to get through nice and clean, no harm, no foul, but that has got to be nerve-wracking for all of these guys to come around a blind corner and see a race car taking up majority of the raceway. Alex Penn has extended the lead over Christopher Heller to about 1 second. Penn finds himself about 2.5 seconds back from Zach Rogers, who has arguably some of the freshest tires in the top 5. Penn dives to the inside of lap traffic and by nice and clean. Even Penn, the road race extraordinaire in the number 30 machine, has a little bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 1, trying to put the traction down, especially that uneven bumper runoff area into 1. That is considered within track limits for the NASCAR series, the Gander Mountain trucks, Xfinity, or even the ARCA cars out here today. So if you see somebody run off into turn 1, that is usually legal in most places unless signified otherwise by race control. I did not see any mention of it in the driver's brief leading up this morning to tonight's race. So we're going to assume that is a nice, clean, and legal thing to do. It's 5 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Like you back a little bit further, you got Kyle Hall still trying to chase down Michael Vandermeer's number 7 machine. Hall in the 10th place spot, Vandermeer in 9. About a half of a straightaway separates these two drivers. Johnny Eckert out front in the number 90 machine doing his best to navigate traffic, keeping that race car fairly clean. 8 drivers still on the lead lap with 4 to go. It'll be 3 to go once Eckert crosses the line here at the Glen for the Finger Lakes 165. It's been pretty exciting tonight. Not nearly the crash fest that some spectators and fans were expecting tonight. All these guys doing a fantastic job navigating the racetrack relatively cleanly. We've seen a few cars struggle more than most, but even the guys that are having problems have been doing a good job locking up the brakes, trying to stay out of traffic if at all possible. And for the most part, the field fairly strung out. Most guys have about 2 seconds between a car in front or behind them. Eckert being very mindful of where he's getting on the throttle, doing everything in his power to avoid and lighten up those rear tires. His last time by was a 1 minute 15.56. I'm curious to see what it's going to be this time by, as he's got about 12 laps on those sets of tires, so they will start falling off, but let's see what Eckert can do. A 1 minute 15.61, so losing a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. He's got a very large advantage, so he just needs to take it easy and play it safe at this point. Johnny Eckert taking it nice and easy through the bus stop, not doing anything too dangerous. He's got to be very, very careful here. There's still lap traffic to contend with. It is his race to lose at this point, but all it takes is one lapse of judgment from either himself or a car around him, and he can find his race ruined. Just like that, we called it. I believe that was James Silvers has a moment. He throws it off track in the left-hander. Fortunately, Eckert was able to get through nice and clean. No harm, no foul. And the white flag is out for the Watkins Glen. The Finger Lakes 165 here at the All-American ARCA Series. Our one and only road course on the schedule is going way better than could have ever been expected among these guys. Next week again, we go to Iowa for the Iowa 225, 160 laps around the 0.75 mile raceway. Johnny Eckert's going to come around Shane Gentry in the bright pink number 26. Gentry doing a great job allowing the number 90 of Eckert to get through nice and clean through the bus stop. Nobody wants to cause any incidents. They just want to complete this race at this point. So Eckert just has a couple of short jaunts to go before he wins it at the road course here tonight. And one final corner separates Eckert and the first road course win. And the checkered flag will fly for Johnny Eckert and the number 90 machine, bringing it home on the top spot of the podium. We're going to cycle back. We're going to check on Zach Rogers. He's going to try and get around. He might just follow Vandermeer. I believe that's Vandermeer in the 07 machine. It is. So he's just going to follow Vandermeer to the start and finish line. No risk making a pass here on lap traffic when he can comfortably cruise to second place. Now, we did have something go on for third. Christopher Heller, number 11. He's up into third place, regaining that podium spot. The number 11 machine will once again put it on the podium. Well done to him. Alex Penn will get fourth. Dylan Good in fifth. And, man, what a night here for the Finger Lakes 165. That was great racing from all of these guys. We'll try and get our competitors up into the booth after their cool-down laps. As always, thank you to everybody that tunes in from across the world, cheering on your favorite drivers. We couldn't do it without you guys. We know the drivers appreciate it as well as myself. Johnny Eckert's going to come for his victory lap, and then he's going to burn it down here at Watkins Glen. Slightly out of camera frame. And the number 90 is going to burn it down here after a well-deserved win. A great performance from all of our drivers here today. And he's going to pose with his friend David Westergreen, the number 93, the BP, the green and yellow. So always great having the friends out there celebrating together. What a spectacular drift performance from these guys. So we're still waiting on Christopher Heller and Zach Rogers to make their way into the booth. And there we go. We've got third place. Christopher Heller joins the number 11. Now, Heller, I'm not sure what we expected tonight, but what did you think was going to happen going to Watkins Glen for this one road course of the season?
Honestly, I had no idea, to be honest with you. But to say that I was gonna finish P3 with one lap to go, I don't know. But I got lucky with some lap traffic there and was able to get to third.
We did a great job out there all night, man. Now, what happened to allow you to get by Alex Penn there at the end?
So we had I think Kyle Hall was a lap car and he was just a little bit slower. There was just a bunch of traffic through the S's and it kind of messed up Alex there, and I was able to just get up alongside him coming to the bus stop, and that's where I got him.
Well, you look nice and clean out there. How is the tire wear feeling on these ARCA cars? Was it something you really had to contend with, or is it pretty consistent through the whole run?
It's pretty consistent through the whole run. I mean, it wasn't like the hardest thing for me to drive. I mean, everyone else was complaining that it was loose. It was fine for me, but um excuse me. Uh yeah. I don't know.
Well, you did great out there, man. Always a good time having you up in the booth here with me. You did fantastic tonight. Before I let you sign off, who would you like to give a shout out to that may be supporting you here tonight?
My teammate Brandon Barkowski, he's studying for an exam that he has to take for his accounting stuff, so good luck to him. My parents for watching. I want to congratulate Johnny Eckert on the win again. And everyone else who runs All-American ARCA Series, and you guys up in the booth.
Well, always a great time, man. You guys put on a fantastic show tonight. I know everybody at home appreciates it as well, and hope to see you up here more often, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, up next we've got Zach Rogers, the number 5 machine. Zach, great job out there today, finishing second. I mean, that was a show from start to finish. That's the only way to describe it.
Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. It was tough.
Now, we've been kind of polling everybody. What did you expect going into Watkins Glen? I know, I mean, myself personally, I was expecting to see one full course caution today. Were you predicting that here today, or were you thinking it was going to stay pretty clean all the way through?
I was a little surprised. I guess I was like you. I was expecting at least one, but yeah, I'm glad it turned out how it did. I didn't really come across too many spinners, but yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Now, lap traffic, that was kind of a factor for a lot of people here today. What was your nerves doing cutting through traffic? Were you at all anxious somebody else was going to bend it in front of you, or are you just pretty confident in your competitor's ability?
It was just holding me up. I was just talking to Johnny. Every car he got through that I caught up to, it took 2 seconds off my distance to him. It was just tough to get around everybody. I wasn't so much worried about them spinning because it looked like everybody was taking it pretty easy, and you could kind of see that in their lap times. But I don't know. It's just hard to expect what's going on here.
Well, you did great out there, Zach. Always a pleasure talking to you. If you'd like to give a shout out to any friends, family, sponsors, supporters, the floor is yours, my friend.
Just the guys at Cornerstone again. They've been awesome to race with, and they finally got some pretty good finishes today. So I'm happy for them for that, and just again for you all for putting this on, letting people watch.
Well, always a great time, my friend. Hope to see you up here more often as well, and great job again on second place today.
Yes, sir. Thanks, James.
All right, then last but certainly not least, the man of the hour, Johnny Eckert, bringing it home on the top box. Johnny, what a night tonight. How did you feel going into Watkins Glen?
Well, I've done a lot of racing here this week. Over 400 laps between this, the V8, and the ARCA car, or in the truck. So it was a lot of racing. So I was pretty prepared with the track. He was just kind of getting used to the car again. And I feel like all the time that I put down for the other series really helped here. So I was pretty pleased. I was concerned about the start because if you don't get a decent start, you can get swallowed up, and then it's kind of a hard track to pass at when the gaps aren't, the speed differences rather aren't that big. So yeah, my biggest worry at the start was just getting out clean and then hopefully holding on to it. And thankfully I was able to do that. And then getting through the first round of lap cars was an experience. But once we got through that, I was a little bit more relaxed. I was definitely on edge for a while though. Zach was there pretty much blow for blow for quite a while.
Now, Johnny, we saw that lap traffic always did their best to try and get out of the way and then maybe pick a less preferred line to allow you guys to go through. Was that nerve-wracking too badly cutting through traffic, or is it pretty confident that everybody was doing their best and just wanted to keep it clean at that point?
I would say I feel like that I know that there were a bunch of people here who don't have a whole lot of road racing experience, and to some extent that showed a little bit tonight. I don't, a lot of people did their best to make themselves clear and make sure that the communication was clear and obvious about what they were doing or whatever, which I really appreciated. But there were a couple instances where it's like, oh, it looked like they were leaving the lane. They checked up early, what looked like was checking up early, left the lane, and I went for it, and then all of a sudden, nope. So avoided a couple really could have been really bad accidents in those situations. So part of it was the speed difference, part of it was just getting comfortable in the race conditions, I feel. But yeah, I think generally it was lap traffic was good. There was one time someone wrecked coming out of the carousel and barely missed me. That's still flashing in front of my eyes. That scared me so much.
Here at Watkins, not a whole lot of room, especially when you crash in some of those tight sections of racetrack. It's very easy to roadblock it, but you're able to get through it nice and clean. I know we always enjoy looking at the your angle that you post after all of your races on YouTube, but it's always cool seeing that as well. And I mean, Johnny, a great run as always, my friend. Before I just sign off and celebrate with the boys, who would you like to give a shout out to that's supporting you behind the scenes?
Oh, thank you for putting on the broadcast. I mean, it seems like there was something going on at every moment. So I'm sure that this race was full of exciting moments. But yeah, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the admins for putting on this show. I want to thank my team. I mean, they were putting all the confidence in me coming into this. I'm to some degree, like I knew I had pace, but it was one of those things I was a little bit hesitant to, you have to do the job. You have to, you can be as fast as you want, but you have to finish the race off. And they just kept instilling the confidence that I would do it and whatnot. So I appreciate them so much. DJ Weeks, who had a pretty decent run considering he I don't know if he messed up in qualifying, whatever, but I appreciate him. David Westergreen for his confidence, and Adam Tepe was spotting for David, so it's good to have him around. Dylan Gooden had another top 5 run. So yeah, without them, I mean, it was a lot of confidence and a lot of keeping me calm. So I appreciate them so much. And yeah, I'm thrilled to finish this off because this was probably the race that I really wanted to win the most because it's home race. I love the track. I've always run well here, so this was the one, and I'm glad to finish it off. So.
Well done, Johnny. Well spoken. Hope to see you do well at Iowa, and congratulations again, my friend.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
And that was race winner of the Finger Lakes 165, Johnny Eckert, put on the top spot of the track, of the podium, in his number 90 Outlaw Racing car. A great race from everyone here tonight. As far as road courses go, with a bunch of ARCA racers, that went pretty well fantastically from my point of view. On behalf of the All-American ARCA Series Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East, wishing you a safe night. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a good night, everyone.